Hello everybody and welcome to How Do I Homeschool? My name is Rebecca Devitt. I'm the author of Why on Earth Homeschool? The Case for Australian Christian Homeschooling. And today we're going to be talking about the rhetoric stage of classical education in the trivium. So what is the rhetoric stage of the trivium? This is a stage in a person's secondary education, so high school students, where students learn to speak with wisdom. They learn to consider their words. Quintilian, who was a famous rhetorician back in the old Roman days, said it's the art of a good man speaking well. So that is the definition, I guess, of what rhetoric is and what the rhetoric age is about trying to teach. So Dorothy Sayers, she's sort of the mother of modern day classical Christian education. She said that the rhetoric stage is a developmental stage where students are up to, they're like poets. They want to present themselves well. They want to be listened to. And they want to be taken seriously. Because they're at a stage of life where they want to be taken seriously, we teach them how to, thank you Luke, we teach them how to present themselves well, how to argue with wisdom, how to know when to say things and when not to say things. And that's really, I think it's a trait that's really sorely lacking in our modern day school graduates. And so I love that about classical education, that it teaches a good man to speak well. The student who is in the last stage, the rhetoric stage of classical education, will graduate. He'll graduate knowing facts that he can use to learn other subjects later on, the quadrivium for instance. He will know how to make a good argument, how to make a good essay, because he will have learnt how to use logic and reason in the second stage of classical education, the dialectic stage. And he will have learnt how to speak well, to know when to hold his tongue, how to present himself well. And a lot of the things done in the rhetoric stage will be done through debate. Children learn how to stand up and publicly speak well. And a lot of that is done in the rhetoric stage, the third stage of classical education. From here on in, they can go and they can study the quadrivium in a tertiary institution, but at this point you've given them the tools for learning. So you've given them a great Latin head start. So this means that, if they want to study, say for example, medicine. I studied a year of medicine about 5 years ago, and I found that having a little bit of Latin up my sleeve was enormously helpful, because I could look at these huge long words and break them down because I knew bits of Latin. And that's really helpful. You'll find that in most disciplines today. Thanks for listening today. I hope that you've really benefited from this video and learned a lot. I do have articles about these which I'll be posting this video in, which go into a little bit more detail, and they quote Douglas Wilson in the Case for Classical Christian Education, and Dorothy Sayers in her sort of, her popular essay, The Lost Tools of Learning. And so they go back to the original sources, and so I find them really helpful. So if you love listening, hit the like button and subscribe. If you hit the little bell button down below, it will alert you every time there's a new video as well. So I hope to talk to you later. Thanks for listening, guys.